They don't speak, they don't leave footprints, and yet, they're always watching. Across declassified documents, lost expedition journals and old military reports, one name appears again and again: the Ice Wall Guardians. Towering figures cloaked in snow and silence, said to patrol the edge of the world, beyond the Antarctic ice walls, where no civilian is allowed to go. The government never talks about them. But from Admiral Byrd's cryptic post-expedition notes to forbidden areas marked on Antarctic treaties, something doesn't add up. Are they ancient protectors, survivors from a forgotten civilization, or something not from this world at all? One thing is certain: wherever the maps stop, they begin. This is Secret Origins, and today we're telling you the story of the Ice Wall Guardians. Welcome. The story of the Ice Wall Guardians begins with some of the earliest expeditions to Antarctica. Back in 1841, British explorer Sir James Clark Ross sailed his ships toward the icy continent, hoping to uncover secrets hidden in the frozen south. But instead of new lands, Ross discovered something astonishing: a massive wall of ice, rising high above his ships, completely blocking his way. Today, we call this enormous barrier the Ross Ice Shelf. Standing about 150 feet tall, it looked like an endless wall built specifically to keep people out. Ross and his crew couldn't shake the feeling that someone or something had deliberately put the ice there to guard secrets behind it. This was the very first moment that the idea of Guardians of the Ice was born. For many years after Ross's expedition, Antarctica stayed largely unexplored and unknown. Maps often labeled it simply as the Great Unknown, and every new expedition seemed to return with even more mysteries. Then, in the late 1940s, a famous American explorer named Admiral Richard E. Byrd led a huge mission called Operation Highjump. After returning, Byrd made a puzzling statement during an interview. He said there was a place as big as the United States beyond the South Pole, unseen by any man. Around the same time, a new theory began spreading. Believers in the flat Earth theory claimed Antarctica wasn't a continent at all, but actually a giant ring of ice surrounding the entire world. According to flat earthers, this ring, known as the ice wall, keeps Earth's oceans from flowing away into space. But if such an ice wall truly existed, wouldn't there be someone guarding it to make sure humans never crossed it? Flat earthers believed exactly that. They thought powerful groups or governments had placed special guards at this ice wall, secretly watching to make sure no one ever discovered the truth. These mysterious protectors became known as the Ice Wall Guardians. Suddenly, an idea that started as a strange theory on the internet became something that more people began to seriously consider. Finally, supporters of the Hollow Earth theory also took an interest in Admiral Byrd's expeditions. They believed Byrd hadn't just seen ice, he had found hidden openings that led directly into Earth's hollow interior. According to this theory, advanced civilizations exist deep inside our planet, protected from outsiders by carefully placed gates or passages in Antarctica's ice. The Guardians, they argued, were there to prevent humans from finding and entering these secret worlds. If the stories are true, strange things have been happening in Antarctica for decades, things far beyond what anyone could imagine. Ever since Admiral Byrd's mysterious comments following Operation Highjump, stories from eyewitnesses have continued to surface, each more chilling than the last. During Operation Highjump, sailors claimed they'd seen things they couldn't explain, flying discs soaring silently through the Antarctic sky. But it didn't end there. Rumors soon spread that these crafts hadn't just been observed, they'd actually confronted the Navy's ships. Several sailors whispered that the discs fired strange beams of energy, causing chaos and forcing Admiral Byrd to end the mission early. Crew members returned home deeply shaken, convinced they had encountered guardians protecting something hidden in the ice. After Highjump, Antarctica became even more mysterious. Scientists and explorers stationed in remote bases regularly reported strange sightings. Many spoke of shadowy figures seen standing silently at the edge of camps, always watching but disappearing as soon as someone approached. Sometimes researchers found strange footprints in the snow, tracks that suddenly ended, as if whoever made them had vanished into thin air. One particularly alarming report came in 1965 from a Chilean research team. As night fell over their remote camp, the scientists saw large, dark silhouettes moving slowly around their tents. Frightened, they radioed for help, describing tall, humanoid shapes unlike any animal or person they had ever seen. Official explanations later dismissed the incident as an optical illusion caused by the Antarctic twilight. Yet those who were there knew better. They believed they had narrowly escaped something terrifying and unknown. Adding even more mystery was the supposed discovery of Admiral Byrd's secret diary many years after his famous expedition. In these diary pages, Byrd allegedly described a hidden civilization beneath the Antarctic ice. He claimed that during a secret flight in 1947, his aircraft was mysteriously guided to an advanced city beneath the ice, filled with tall, intelligent beings. These beings, Byrd wrote, communicated telepathically and warned him of humanity's dangerous future. But Byrd's diary was just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Over the years, testimonies from soldiers and pilots began surfacing, each more intriguing and frightening than the last. In 1997, a US Navy pilot reported straying beyond a no-fly zone near Antarctica. Almost immediately, two bright, glowing craft, white spheres he called eagles, appeared beside his aircraft. They silently escorted him out of the area, their intentions clear. Upon landing, the pilot was interrogated by his superiors and warned never to speak publicly about what he'd seen. Another eerie account emerged from a Navy SEAL using the pseudonym Brian. He claimed that in the early 2000s, his Special Operations Unit was sent to investigate a hidden cave system deep in Antarctica's transantarctic mountains. According to Brian, what they discovered was shocking. Massive pod-like structures housing gigantic humanoid beings, each over 15 feet tall and frozen in ice. These beings wore what appeared to be ancient armor-like skin. But before the team could take photographic proof, higher-ranking officials arrived, immediately sealing the cave and ordering the SEALs never to discuss their findings. And then there was the chilling story of the Ningen. In the early 2000s, Japanese whaling ships exploring Antarctic waters began reporting sightings of an enormous white creature swimming silently beneath the icy surface. The sailors named it the Ningen, meaning human, in Japanese, because it appeared strangely human-like, except it was massive, nearly 90 feet long, with pale, ghostly white skin. Witnesses described it as having limbs that resembled arms and legs, and a distinctively human-like face. Each encounter ended with the creature slipping back beneath the waves, leaving sailors terrified and confused. Could the Ningen simply be an undiscovered marine animal, as skeptics argued? Or was it something more, perhaps another form of guardian, patrolling Antarctic waters to ensure no human intruders ventured too close? After hearing so many chilling stories about strange sightings near Antarctica's frozen edge, you're probably wondering, what exactly do these mysterious ice wall guardians look like? Well, if we piece together the reports from explorers, scientists and soldiers, we start to get a clearer picture. Most people who claim they've seen these beings describe them as human-like, but clearly not human at all. First of all, they're incredibly tall. Some say around 7 feet, while others insist they've seen guardians standing more than 12 feet high. Imagine looking up and seeing something twice your height, staring down at you through the blowing snow. Some descriptions say they're thin and lanky, almost like alien beings. Others describe them as huge, muscular giants, almost as if they were made out of ice itself. And that's not even the strangest part. Nearly every witness describes the Guardians as having extremely pale or even ice blue skin, so white they blend perfectly with the snow around them. It's like they were created specifically to hide in this frozen environment. Some even wonder if their skin is really a special suit or advanced armor designed to help them camouflage perfectly in the Antarctic wilderness. Many reports also mention long white hair or fur covering their bodies, giving them an ancient and mysterious appearance. And their eyes? Witnesses say their eyes glow faintly in the darkness, reflecting light like those of wild animals, making them even more frightening. But looks aren't everything. Their behavior is even more intriguing. The Guardians are extremely secretive. They rarely show themselves openly, preferring to stay hidden until someone ventures too close. Most people spot them in low visibility during snowstorms at twilight or in dense fog. These beings clearly act like protectors. They watch over certain areas closely, especially places that are forbidden for humans. If explorers get too close, the Guardians reportedly react immediately. Witnesses describe sudden storms appearing from nowhere, powerful winds and heavy snow meant to disorient intruders and scare them away. Sometimes electronic devices suddenly fail, compasses spin wildly, or vehicles stop working completely, almost as if the Guardians can disrupt technology with some invisible force. And if those warnings aren't enough, things can get even scarier. People who have come face to face with the Guardians report hearing deep, terrifying sounds, something like powerful roars that make even the bravest explorers panic and flee. In some extreme accounts, these beings have supposedly used powerful energy blasts or sound waves to push humans away physically. But do these mysterious beings ever communicate with us? Most encounters say no. They appear, frighten intruders, and vanish silently. But a few stories suggest the Guardians can speak directly into people's minds, sending a simple but clear message: you do not belong here. Admiral Byrd's supposed secret diary described a clear conversation with these beings, suggesting at least some can communicate clearly with humans. Yet, for most people who've encountered them, the Guardians remain completely silent and mysterious. So, where exactly do these Guardians come from? One popular theory says they might actually be extraterrestrial visitors who arrived long ago and built hidden bases beneath Antarctica's ice. Their tall, pale appearance matches descriptions of aliens known as Nordics, commonly mentioned in UFO reports. Others suggest they're actually a secret civilization, maybe descendants of an ancient human race who moved underground thousands of years ago. Could they be survivors from Atlantis, or another lost civilization now hiding beneath Antarctica's ice and guarding their secrets? Another eerie possibility is that they're linked to old stories of giants called Nephilim. According to these ancient stories, fallen angels and giants were imprisoned deep beneath the ice as punishment. If true, these Guardians might be trapped beings or their descendants, silently waiting beneath the surface, protecting their prison from intruders. Some theories take a simpler route, suggesting these Guardians might actually be elite military units from powerful countries. Soldiers equipped with advanced white camouflage suits, specialized technology, and secret weapons could easily appear otherworldly to ordinary explorers. Their job would be to patrol Antarctica's forbidden zones, keeping people away from secrets hidden beneath the ice. An even more disturbing theory says the Guardians might be genetically engineered creatures, mutants created by secret Nazi or American military experiments during early Antarctic expeditions. According to this idea, secret laboratories under the ice might have produced these strange beings specifically to survive and guard the frozen continent. But if these guardians are real, why don't we hear about encounters more often? The answer might lie in the fact that since 1959, Antarctica has been strictly off-limits beyond a certain boundary. In December that year, a special agreement called the Antarctic Treaty was signed by 12 countries, including the United States, the Soviet Union, and others who had been active in Antarctic exploration. Officially, this treaty was created to protect Antarctica. According to its rules, Antarctica could only be used for peaceful activities, such as scientific research. No military bases, no mining, and no private ownership were allowed. To this day, the treaty remains in effect, and more than 50 nations support it. But many people think that the Antarctic Treaty was designed specifically to hide something incredible discovered during earlier expeditions. Maybe something governments believed was too shocking for the public to know. Could this have something to do with Admiral Byrd's mysterious warnings after Operation Highjump? Many believe it did. The world's leading governments might have encountered the ice wall guardians decades ago. Perhaps during those early Antarctic missions, military leaders realized they couldn't match the guardians' power. Instead of fighting, they chose another path: communication and cooperation. So government officials might have secretly made contact with these mysterious beings. A quiet deal was struck: peaceful coexistence in exchange for absolute secrecy. This could explain why Antarctica suddenly became so strictly controlled. Countries that normally disagreed about everything found common ground in protecting this icy land, tightly restricting who could enter or explore certain areas. Maybe they were not just protecting penguins or icebergs. Maybe they were keeping us away from the guardians themselves. Over the years, there have been surprising and unexplained visits by high-ranking officials and famous people, visits that seem strange unless something secret was involved. In 2016, for example, US Secretary of State John Kerry made an unexpected trip to Antarctica. The official reason was to discuss climate research, but many found the timing suspicious. It was Election Day in the United States. Why would one of America's most important diplomats travel thousands of miles away on such a crucial day, unless he was actually meeting with someone or something at the South Pole, possibly related to these guardians? That same year, another prominent figure visited Antarctica: Russian Orthodox Patriarch Kirill. Officially, he went to bless an Antarctic church, but again, people wondered why a high-ranking religious leader would suddenly travel to the end of the world. Some theorized it was actually a secret religious ritual connected to hidden entities or ancient secrets beneath the ice. Then there's Buzz Aldrin, the famous astronaut who walked on the moon. Also in 2016, Aldrin traveled to Antarctica, only to be suddenly evacuated due to a medical emergency. Soon afterward, false rumors circulated online, claiming Aldrin had seen something terrifying, something he described as pure evil. Even though these claims turned out to be false, the mere fact Aldrin was there and suddenly had to leave added fuel to suspicions that something hidden was being kept from the public eye. Another strange fact: there are strict no-fly zones over Antarctica. Officially, the reason given is safety, because the area is remote and dangerous, or because magnetic anomalies might disrupt navigation. And if this isn't already enough, there's the issue of satellite images. Many parts of Antarctica on public satellite maps appear blurred, low resolution, or strangely absent altogether. Lastly, whenever independent explorers attempt unauthorized trips to Antarctica, they're usually stopped quickly. In 2018, Russian explorer Sergei Ananov tried flying a small helicopter to Antarctica without permission, but was quickly detained in Chile. If you think about all of this, It's not so strange to believe that the government doesn't want anyone to see what's really hidden down there. When we think of secret bases and hidden mysteries, Area 51 in Nevada usually comes to mind. But what if I told you that Antarctica might be hiding even bigger secrets beneath its endless ice? Believe it or not, the icy continent has become the world's new hotspot for government secrets and alien encounters. Antarctica might just be the new Area 51. One of the oldest and most popular Antarctic base stories is about a mysterious Nazi facility known as Base 211. Back in the late 1930s, Nazi Germany sent expeditions to Antarctica, specifically to an area called Neuschwabenland. Officially, they were just mapping the region, but conspiracy theories claim something far more fascinating happened. The Nazis built a secret fortress under the ice, filled with advanced technology and even prototype flying saucers. Some theories go even further, suggesting that the Nazis might have made contact with mysterious beings, the ice wall guardians themselves. Did the Nazis strike some kind of deal with these powerful entities? Or did the guardians drive them away, leaving Base 211 abandoned beneath the ice? Nobody knows for sure. Fast forward to the Cold War era, and the story gets even stranger. Both the United States and the Soviet Union set up scientific bases in Antarctica. The US built McMurdo Station, while the Soviets created Vostok Station. Officially, these bases were built to study climate and geology, but rumors persist that underneath these stations lie secret underground facilities, hidden laboratories, and even gateways to places unknown. Take Vostok Station, for example. It sits above a mysterious lake buried deep beneath miles of ice, Lake Vostok. When Russian scientists drilled down toward the lake in recent years, they suddenly stopped just before reaching the water. The official reason was environmental protection, but what if something else was discovered? Something like a hidden structure, an ancient alien artifact, or maybe even a secret base guarded by the mysterious ice guardians? At America's McMurdo Station, some say there's a hidden underground complex filled with advanced technology, or possibly a secret entrance leading to a hidden world beneath the ice. There have even been claims that this station houses experiments similar to Area 51's legendary secret projects, alien technology studies, or encounters with beings we can hardly imagine. All these theories lead to one powerful idea. Antarctica is the perfect place for governments to hide their greatest secrets. It's isolated, covered by miles of ice, and controlled by international treaties that strictly limit access. Just like Area 51 in Nevada, Antarctica is a location where military secrets and extraterrestrial mysteries might quietly coexist, hidden safely from public view. So what do you think? Are the guardians among us today? The truth is, no one really knows. But it's just as true that someone doesn't want us to find out. Whether the truth includes guardians, ancient civilizations, or something else entirely, it's clear that a veil has been carefully placed over the most remote place on Earth. They say the best way to hide something is in plain sight. But what if the truth has been hidden behind a wall of ice this whole time? Antarctica is nearly twice the size of Australia, yet over 98% of it is completely off-limits to the public. We're only allowed to visit a few tightly managed research zones or frozen cruise spots, and even those are closely watched. The rest of the continent is locked behind international treaties, guarded by safety protocols, and completely invisible to the everyday person. Sure, for some people, the official story makes perfect sense. Governments say they want to protect Antarctica's delicate environment, and to a certain point, that explanation holds up. Antarctica has been isolated from the rest of the world for millions of years. It has ecosystems that exist nowhere else on Earth. Entire species of animals and microorganisms have adapted to extreme cold, darkness, and isolation. If we brought the wrong bacteria or virus, something harmless to us, but new to them, It could wipe out entire populations of native wildlife before anyone realized what happened. And the reverse is true too. If we disturb something buried beneath the ice, we could unleash life forms that haven't been exposed to the outside world for ages. Even a tiny microbe trapped in ancient ice could become a serious threat if reintroduced today. That's why people say Antarctica is a time capsule, and cracking it open too fast could be dangerous. There's also the problem of invasive species. Something as simple as a seed stuck to a researcher's boot could throw off a fragile food chain that took thousands of years to develop. In that sense, yes, some restrictions make sense. We should be careful. We should respect the unknown. We constantly hear how important Antarctica is. Scientists and officials tell us it holds the key to understanding climate change, rising sea levels, and the Earth's future. They say studying Antarctica can help predict disasters, protect coastal cities, and maybe even reverse the damage we've done to the planet. And yet, they don't allow scientists to do much of anything. Isn't that just a little bit hypocritical? You can't say Antarctica holds all the answers, then refuse to let anyone ask the questions. Because protecting fragile ecosystems is one thing, but sealing off an entire continent for over 6 decades, that's something else entirely. In the end, maybe the real question isn't, are the guardians among us? The real question is, how long have they been here?